Would you go on a virtual date? A virtual date. I never even heard of it. I was on TikTok scrolling and a video popped up in my feed. A young lady says, go on this virtual date with me. One of those, stories that you just watch and everything looks so aesthetic. Everything looks so good. And I was just captured by the let's go on a virtual date. Like, what is this? So look at this. Now tell me, would you go on a virtual date? So a virtual date is the person that you are dating or, you have this relationship with sets up a date and they're not there. They might be on FaceTime. They might be on some type of Skype or Zoom situation. And you go on a date with them, but they're not physically there. It's a virtual date. Would you do it? Can you do it? Would you say yes? A lot of people don't even like to go out to eat by themselves. So to go on a virtual date with someone and have a screen across you, and you're talking and you're on a date with someone. This young lady has a long distance relationship. I believe she's in Switzerland. Her boyfriend is in the UK in London. Watch this.
Come with me on my first virtual date this year. This was a virtual date / Valentine's type date, so let's get into it. Firstly, he sent me an Uber to pick me up and get me to the restaurant. So it started off with him sending me flowers to my house, and then a week after he sent me flowers again asking me to be his Valentine. And then he ended off with the invite and the message. Mind you, I was not allowed to search.
You see the invite? How creative. And she has so many of these on her page. Different invites that he sends her. The wording is so cute. Now, mind you, let me caveat this and say, I'm no longer dating, but we do go on dates. A virtual date, would I be able to do it? I would. I think it's such a creative thing to do. Why not try it? There's so much intrigue. There's so much like curiosity behind the whole thing. Like, I'm getting dressed knowing that I'm going on a date, but he's not going to be there physically. So different, so different.
Allowed to search up the restaurant, nor search up the location. All I had to do was just arrive. When I tell y'all the fact that I'm a local and he's the one that...
I just arrived. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that, but when she said that, it reminded me of this. I just arrived.
I just arrived.
Is the president coming?
I just arrived.
Is the president coming?
I just arrived.
When last did...
Back to the video.
One that lives in the UK but keeps finding these restaurants that I have no clue about is just insane. By the time I got there, he had already sent me the budget, so all I had to do was just eat. As always, his priority was to get to know me on a way deeper level. So these were some of the questions that he asked. How has some of the stuff that you've been through altered the way you see life and the way you think? Do you think that is something that's changeable? What's the real reason behind...
So not only are you taking me on a date and this looks like really great food, great atmosphere, and we're having good conversation, and it's all virtual. Wow.
Behind why we get defensive, just to understand our minds a little bit more. And then lastly, what's a traumatic thing you've been through that still hasn't healed to this day that you might not have thought about? These questions were so well thought out that we was there for 2 hours just talking. Really appreciate the fact that he really wants to understand why.
2 hours on a virtual date. There are so many people who meet each other long distance, like in a long distance situation. These virtual dates might be the way to go. Virtually take me to the movies. We'll watch the movie together. Virtually take me to a museum. We'll walk and talk and look at the different things together. This is like a great idea. The restaurant, I think, is the easiest, like to set up, reservations. Talk to the restaurant in advance, give them the budget or give them the funds, have her order whatever she wants. So creative.
Everybody's so creative.
That's creative.
why I act the way I act. He takes the initiative to start the conversation because he knows I'm not really into that anymore. As always, I asked him if I was allowed to get another drink, and he just said, yes, go for it. When I say we was talking, we was on FaceTime laughing and giggling and telling each other how much we appreciate and adore each other. By the time he gave me my creme brulee, it was already time to leave because they were closing. After that, this is where he officially asked me to be his Valentine's. He booked me another Uber to go home, and that was it. If this man would ask you to be his girlfriend, would you say yes?
The creme brulee. I love me some creme brulee. But would this be something that you can do? Virtual dating. Online dating is already a thing, right? So then, okay, take it to the next level. Let's have virtual dates. Something that's reminding me of the Jetsons. I don't know why. But anyway, this is the future of dating, possibly for those long distance relationships. I don't know. I just thought it was so neat and clever and creative. And I guess it's something that they normally do because they live so far away from each other, Switzerland and the UK or London. Wow. Think about that. Would you go on a virtual date? Would you say, yes, I'm down? They seem to have great conversation, good chemistry. This is something that she does on the regular. Why not? Now, based on conversations with my girlfriends and the dates they've been going on, I think they would say, yeah, I will try a virtual date. Why not? If you trust this person enough after, I guess, maybe months of conversations or maybe even weeks, and you have such a great connection, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to be able to be there physically. Would you mind going on a virtual date with me? I will set everything up and let's try it out. Would you give it a chance? I know some of my girlfriends would be like, yeah, hell yeah. With the online dating and the catfishing and all the crazy stuff and stories that we hear and the stories that they tell me about the dates that they go on, I think they would be down. Now let's look at some of the comments on the video. The first comment says, a virtual date? People can't even get flowers. So the least you could do is get some flowers, right? But the virtual date is over the top. Let's see what the replies were. Same, I've never received flowers from a guy like ever. Oh, that's sad. I've gotten flowers before, but like more of a here, damn kind of feeling. Or one came with a more threatening note attached. Oh, no. Not good. If he wanted to, he would. And it looks like he wants to, and he is doing what he's wanting to do. He will. May this level of thoughtfulness, consideration, and being seen and understood find me expeditiously. It's hard on these dating streets. It's hard out here. I hear the stories. It's hard. Girl, definitely say yes. A man that understands distance is never a barrier. Never a barrier. If you wanted to, you will. And you will do it. Regardless of any obstacle. If something you want, if there's something that you want and you want it seriously, you will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Let's see. Girl, I sent this to my husband and he got the assignment. I had a wonderful virtual date while I was in Vietnam and him in Thailand. Thank you for this, sis. Oh, so sometimes you got to send a hint. If this is something that you want to do and you're in a long distance relationship, if this is something that you want to try, send this video on over. Maybe your man will be like, okay, I got the hint. Let's do it. And he set up everything. I can't believe it. The way that he set up everything. I can believe it. There are men out there who are very creative. So let me stop. So intentional. Girl, the sisterhood approves. Yes, he has so much intent on making sure that she had a great date. And it looks like if you go on her page, she has multiple great dates. Like she says, he knows exactly what kind of restaurants she likes, what type of ambiance. He asks deep questions. They're getting to know each other. And not only are they doing virtual dating, they are actually seeing each other physically. So this right here is the way that you know, like it says in the comments, bring the energy. Bring the energy. All I had to do was arrive. So he sets everything up from the beginning to the end of the date for her. Makes her feel like a lady. Makes her feel good and wanted and taken care of. And it's something that he wants to do to show that he really wants to be with her, even though they're long distance. This gives so much effort. Like, he's providing so much effort into these dates. Why wouldn't she consider continuing on doing these dates with him? Why not? Why not? They have great conversation. And when I looked at some of her videos on her page, they actually do meet in person from time to time when they can. I think she just recently went on a Valentine's Day date with him. Since we see he asked her to be his Valentine, she recently had a date with him. I believe he flew to Switzerland to see her. So if in between time that you can't see each other physically and virtual is the way to go, why not try it? Why not? It looks to be working for them. So very, very good. Maybe this will be the thing. Maybe this will be the next wave of dating, virtually dating. Tell me your thoughts in the comments, what you think about virtual dating. Is this something that you would do? Is this something that you would consider? I would consider a virtual date. If my man took the time out of his day to plan such an elaborate date and he wasn't in town and he was like, just babe, go get dressed. Everything is set up. How sexy is that? Okay, but anyway, I digress. Let me know in the comments what you think about virtual dating. Is it something that you would do? And as always, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. She knows these dates are good. That's why she posted them. People are looking at these virtual dates like, what? Yes, girl, yes. We will take the date. Virtual, physical, whatever we can get. Let me stop now. Whatever we can get. And I'm like, virtual date? What is that? Virtual date. So a virtual date is when you go on a date with someone virtually, like a Zoom, Skype, FaceTime type of situation. Would you be able to do it? Would you do it? Very interesting. So I just wanted to share that. Wanted to talk about virtual dating. Distance boyfriend. I was... what's the word I'm looking for? Hold on. If I was in a single space, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. It ain't for me. So creative, I must say. Points for creativity. He sends her like an Evite. So she gets this envelope. She opens it. It tells her the location. She's not supposed to look up the restaurant. She's just supposed to go. He gets Ubers for her. And they have a date where they are both in a restaurant talking to each other. It's long distance. It's virtual. Would you do that? That she gets flowers from him. And just as the comment says, a virtual date, people can't even get flowers today. Yes, we're going on a virtual date. Somebody said, UK men, the same UK I live in. Are you sure? I guess they're having a different experience with the UK men. I've never in my life heard of a virtual date. Me, neither. Would you consider going on a virtual date? I never even heard of a virtual date until I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across this video where the young lady says, come with me on my first virtual date of the year. So that makes it seem like she'd been going on virtual dates in the previous year, right? And I'm going to let y'all watch this. I'm going to let y'all see what I saw yesterday. So I'm going to watch it here while y'all watch it on my screen. Let's look at the invite together. Join me for our night. Saturday, January 25th, 4:20 or 4:30 o'clock. Was something wrong with me? Now look at the invite, y'all. Join me for our night. Saturday, January 25th, 4:30 o'clock. Location will be sent to you, hosted by your baby. Oh, will you accompany me? How cute is that? Asking deep questions and having conversation virtually. Sometimes you can be in the presence of somebody and have no conversation. And you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave this date. Quickly. 2 hours on a virtual date, having great conversation, good food, everything taken care of. What? Virtual date? Here they come.
We was on FaceTime laughing and giggling and telling each other how much we appreciate and adore each other. But
now, I know that might look strange to other people, like she's sitting here on a date laughing and having conversation with somebody on the phone, but we have created a normal thing now, because remember when people used to talk on the phone and you'd be like, are you talking to me? Before the headphones were made smaller and like more discreet. I can remember being in places and people were like talking and I'm like, who are they talking to? They didn't have the phone, but they did have these headsets or these ear pods in their ear. And you're like confused. What's happening here? I'm sure people are looking at this date and like, what's happening here? But we get it now. We know FaceTime is out here, Zoom, Skype, all those different type of telecommunications that we have now. But I'm enjoying the date. I would be enjoying the date. He took care of everything. Every aspect of the date. He took care of it all. Transportation, choice of restaurant, great conversation, and then transpo back home. Yeah, that is a wonderful date. And not to top it off, or to top it off, you already gave flowers on multiple days leading up to the date. Would you say yes if he asked you to be your boyfriend? I know that the answer would be yes for a lot of folks. I do know that. She knows these dates are good. That's why she posted them. People are looking at these virtual dates like, what? Yes, girl, yes. We will take the date. Virtual, physical, whatever we can get. Let me stop now. Whatever we can get. But that was so interesting to watch, and I just wanted to share it. Like, what? I know people are probably looking at this like me. Like, what is a virtual date? I have never heard of such. Well, we heard of it today.